The lady from the church asked me to pray for her husband's soul. I said, "Of course, when did he die?" And she answered, "Tomorrow." No child should die alone. That's why I decided to let my son invite some friends over. Someone started having a coughing fit at my workplace. The problem is that I work alone in a morgue. Never knock on your door from the inside at dawn. The devil can knock on the outside. These macabre stories and others that can't be told on the channel, you'll see in the Cursed ebook. The link is in the comments. Buy it now. The bustling city never sleeps, but there's something unsettling about the metro after midnight. It's not the usual clang of the trains or the distant hum of the tracks. No, it's a quiet, unsettling stillness that seems to whisper warnings. If you ever find yourself boarding a metro after hours, remember to read the rules. They're not just guidelines, they're a dark necessity for survival. There's an old, faded sign that no one seems to notice anymore, tucked away in the corner of the station. It's been there for decades, and while most people overlook it, those who've dared to follow its advice have lived to tell the tale. The rules are simple yet chilling. Never enter the last car. Some say it's because of a malfunction, but those who have ventured into that car never returned. It's easy to dismiss the rules as mere superstition, but there's something in the eyes of the few who've seen the horrors that lie beyond them. They tell of a darkness that seems to seep out of the walls, and whispers that crawl into your ears and drive you to madness. Ignoring the rules is an invitation to a nightmare that you can't wake up from. When the clock strikes midnight, the metro transforms into a different world. Shadows stretch and contort, and the rules become more than just words, they become lifelines. Rule number 3 is to avoid eye contact with anyone who boards after you. The hollow, soulless eyes of these late passengers are said to harbor something sinister, something that will latch on to you and never let go. If you ever find yourself alone in the station with a strange sense of dread, remember Rule 5. Don't take the metro if you feel an unnatural chill. This isn't just about temperature. It's about an invisible force that preys on those who ignore their instincts. That chill is a sign that something is about to go terribly wrong. The train screeches to a halt, and the door opens with a groan. According to Rule 7, never enter a train if it arrives ahead of schedule. The station itself seems to sigh with relief when the trains are delayed. Early arrivals are an omen of disturbances, a signal that the metro has something it wants to hide from you. There's a rumor about the lost metro that circulates among the few who dare to discuss it. Rule 11 warns against following anyone who disappears into the train's depths. They say that these individuals are led by a malevolent force, one that uses their fears to trap others in its twisted domain. Don't follow them, no matter how desperate you might feel. Some passengers have reported hearing muffled screams through the walls of the metro. Rule 13 advises against using the emergency phone. It's not broken, it's a gateway to something far more sinister. The voice on the other end is not meant to help you, but to lure you into a deeper, darker abyss from which there is no escape. In the dim light of the station, Rule 16 becomes crucial. Don't linger in the corners. Shadows there are more than just darkness. They're alive. They can reach out and grab you if you're not careful, pulling you into a void where time and reality no longer make sense. When the metro lights flicker, and the sound of footsteps echoes from unseen sources, Rule 21 must be followed without question. Never ride the train if the lights are unstable. Flickering lights signal the approach of entities that thrive in darkness, seeking those who are lost and frightened. The old Rule 25 is the one that keeps you safe from the truly terrifying. If you ever hear a whisper that's not your own, it's already too late. These whispers are echoes of the damned, trapped souls who roam the metro in search of someone to join their torment. At the platform, you may notice some passengers wearing strange, old-fashioned clothing. Rule 30 warns against engaging with them. They are not lost. They are waiting for the right moment to claim a new soul, adding to their ranks with each unwitting victim. The rule of silence is a curious one, and its importance can't be overstated. If you hear the sound of your own voice echoing back at you, Rule 33 tells you to stop talking immediately. This echo is not your own. It's a trick used by the creatures that dwell in the silent corners of the metro to ensnare the unwary. Rule 35 is less of a rule and more of a desperate plea. Never enter the station's service tunnels. They are a labyrinth of horrors, inhabited by things that were never meant to be seen. They feed on the fear of those who stray from the safety of the platforms. As the metro doors close and the train begins its journey, Rule 41 reminds you to watch the reflections in the glass. They might show more than just your tired face. They can reveal things lurking behind you, watching your every move with malevolent intent. Rule 45 warns against taking the last train. The regular schedule is a safety measure, but the last train is a portal to a place where the rules no longer apply. It's a one-way ticket to a realm where nightmares roam freely and time stands still. There are times when the metro seems to malfunction, the train jerking and shuddering as if it's alive. Rule 50 is to remain calm and not panic. The jerks are not mechanical failures, but attempts by the entities within to draw you into their grasp. The eerie silence of the empty metro cars is often a sign of something wrong. Rule 53 advises against entering an empty car. The silence is deceptive. It's a prelude to the terrifying presence that fills the void once you're inside. Rule 58 is about maintaining your focus. If you notice your reflection moving independently of your own actions, it's crucial to look away immediately. The reflection's a sign of an entity trying to make contact, and its intentions are rarely benign. The metro's tunnels are notorious for their twisting, labyrinthine nature. Rule 64 advises against straying from the marked paths. Wandering off can lead you to areas where the normal rules don't apply, and the dangers are amplified beyond comprehension. On particularly dark nights, you might hear a distant, rhythmic thumping. Rule 70 is to avoid investigating the sound. It's the heartbeat of something ancient and malevolent, a pulse that grows stronger as you approach it, drawing you ever closer to its source. If you find yourself facing a wall with odd markings, Rule 77 is clear. Do not attempt to decipher them. These markings are warnings left by those who came before you, their failed attempts to understand or escape, leaving behind clues to the horrors that lie beyond. Rule 81 concerns the messages left on the metro's digital displays. They may appear to be helpful, but they are often cryptic warnings or deceitful ploys designed to mislead you. Trust nothing displayed on those screens. At certain times, the air in the metro may feel heavier, almost suffocating. Rule 87 is to leave immediately if you sense this oppressive weight. It's a sign that the boundary between the living and the dead is thinning, and you don't want to be caught in the crossfire. Rule 92 is about the train's conductor. If you see one with a face you don't recognize, or if their eyes seem too vacant, it's best to disembark immediately. These are not ordinary conductors, but vessels for darker forces that use the metro as their hunting ground. Sometimes the metro will stop for no apparent reason. Rule 99 advises against disembarking during these stops. The stillness is a ruse, a prelude to a trap where you could find yourself stranded in a dimension of pure terror. When the train doors close and you hear an unearthly screech, Rule 105 is crucial. Brace yourself and hold on to something secure. The screech is the signal of an imminent shift in reality, a transition into a plane where nightmares come to life. There are stories of strange occurrences in the metro's deepest recesses. Rule 110 warns against exploring these areas. The further you go, the more distorted reality becomes, and the risks escalate beyond anything you could imagine. The last rule, 120, is a reminder of the metro's final, unspoken truth. Always read the rules before getting on. They are not just precautions, but vital warnings. Ignoring them might just be the last mistake you ever make. As you exit the metro, you might feel a strange sense of relief. But remember Rule 132. Never look back. The metro is always watching, and those who linger too long risk becoming part of its endless, nightmarish journey. Until next time, thank you.